Please stay on with me. With that, let me bring in Mr. Swapnil Sorv, who is an AI expert, into this conversation. So we know now that AI has become omnipresent, and of course, this summit is also taking place in order to advance AI in the world as well. Now, the PM has also called for democratizing artificial intelligence as well as making it inclusive. But, sir, in your opinion, where do you think what is it that what are some of the sectors perhaps that will be impacted by AI in the next 3 to 5 years? What is some of the difference that artificial intelligence is going to be making in the next few years?
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Good morning to you and everyone here. So you very well said in the beginning that it's omnipresent. So you can't imagine any sector for that matter. Okay, whether it is media, whether it is so we generally associate AI with computer technologies, right? But it's going to impact all kinds of industry that we have. Okay, now I always like to give this comparison with when we had Nokia. At one point of time they were like number one in terms of in the mobile industry, but what happened, they didn't track how the industry was changing, and today they are not there. So same way, every industry that you talk about on the earth, whether it is healthcare, whether it's media, whether it is education, whether it is like in the economies of the world, okay, every walks of life will be impacted. Wherever you have data, AI can be implemented, is getting implemented. Now, what we have seen in the past is that the private sectors, the companies actually take on innovation, and governments are far behind in terms of coming up with regulations and things like that. AI is a totally different beast. Data travels across the world, within in fraction of seconds. So it's important for government to kind of be on top of the things first, okay, and to make sure that you mentioned in the beginning, right, about deepfakes and things like that. How do we make sure that it's not just government's responsibility, but it's the responsibility of entire corporate in the world? How do you make sure that deepfakes videos don't come up on social media? And many times we have seen like news channels catching up with wrong videos, and later they realized that it was fake, and then they had to apologize it. So the point here I'm trying to make is that every industry that you think about, okay, will be impacted. The point is, how do you want it to get impacted? Do you want your your demand, or your the services that you provide, or the product that you bring, do you want them to be away from AI or adopt it? And the good companies in the world are adopting it. And I think this is what government of India, led by our able prime minister, is trying to do. Is trying to bring startups, okay, into this picture. He's trying to bring governance into it, right? We say that Indian economies grow without government support, but in fact this field is where you need a lot of support from government. Then you need collaboration, right? That's why you see it's not just India summit, it's international summit in a way. We have people coming in, and government officials coming in from more than 35, 36 countries. It shows that government of India has realized that we cannot develop these applications, or the AI model just by sitting here in India. We need collaboration. We need to collaborate with, whether it is developed countries like France, or it is other countries in the global south. We have to collaborate. Now, what I see is that we will see that the cost of services would go down. Okay, I'm very hopeful that when AI is adopted, even at 70-80% of scale, the cost of services will go down. We will have more jobs. Now, again, some people say that it's going to lead to job cuts. Definitely not. Of course, everyone who's involved, who wants to be in this industry, have to upscale their knowledge, the skills, the technologies they are using. Because when we go to each and every field, when you are using these technologies for your work, you need people with that skills, right? So it's going to create skills with different domain. Okay, someone who can understand, let's say, healthcare plus the technology, right? I always say in my talks that we should stop thinking domain as separate thing. Okay, we should stop thinking, okay, this is healthcare, this is law, this is technologies. Technology cuts through each and every domain, and every individual who's watching and who wants to stay relevant for next 5 to 10 years, they should adopt AI and look at different applications which it can bring it to the table. So I think every domain, every industry will are getting impacted. Okay, some of things we still not clear about, but I'm very hopeful that next 1 or 2 years things will stabilize, and then people will start adopting AI for their day-to-day activities.
All right, sir, please do stay on with me. With that, I would like to bring in Ambassador Gauri Shankar, former diplomat, into this conversation. Sir, we've seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi hail India's AI growth, and one of the biggest AI summits is also taking place in our country. And Prime Minister Modi has also called for democratizing artificial intelligence, making it inclusive for the world as well, sir. And largely artificial intelligence has been considered as a mainstay of the advanced economies of the world. But India also has pumped in a lot of money when we talk about the India AI mission as well. Sir, in your opinion, do you think that India could act as a bridge between the advanced economies of the world and the global south as a whole?
Morning, everyone. You see, I would like to make 5, 6 points on this issue because this is a very significant issue. First of all, AI is a revolution. It's not some small change. It's like an industrial revolution or digital revolution or technological revolution. AI is going to be a great revolution impacting every aspect of human life, whether it is economy, whether it is social life, whether it is media, education, health, any sector of the life will be impacted by AI. Secondly, any country which is left behind in this race will suffer tremendously because this is like the industrial revolution. The countries which could not establish new machinery, new production technology, could not innovate, they have been left behind. Similarly, the countries and the people who are not able to adopt AI for their internal domestic use, they will suffer and they will be lost. They will be left behind. Thirdly, the AI summit in Delhi, now it is represented by 118 countries. 20 countries are represented at the level of heads of state or heads of government. So this is something, it is definitely a very large summit representing the entire, I would say globe. And the significance of this is reflected by the very fact that 118 countries have chosen to participate in this summit. Now you also see the big tech companies, whether it is Microsoft, whether it is Google, whether it is Alphabet, whether it is Nvidia, all the high tech companies are participating. A large number of big universities, educational institutions are participating in this summit. They are putting up their stalls, they are explaining what can be done. Some of them have announced huge investments amounting to almost 20 billion US dollars so far for developing this sector. So these are the facts which are taking place on the ground. Now, so far as India is concerned, India is the fourth largest economy, and we want to become developed economy by 2047. So it is extremely important for India to develop AI in all possible ramifications. It can be used for agricultural development, industrial development, educational innovations, technological innovations. It can be for health services. It can be for digital services. All the sectors, media, every possible domain of human enterprise or human life will be impacted, and we have to look at it. And that is what PM Modi, with his visionary ideas, and he has taken this initiative. I think the companies in India are very enthusiastic. Some of our own large companies, large groups are taking deep interest into this, and they have realized that like the digital revolution which was led by India and by PM in 2015, and now we have this QR code everywhere in small village and town. Similarly, the AI will be used by every small individual in this country, whether is literate or illiterate. They will all use AI. They will learn the technique very well, and that will become a household name. Now, this is going to be like the digital or computer technology today. And those people who are not able to use it will be left behind. There's no other option at all. So I think that the data processing is becoming so massive. The scale is unbelievable and unimaginable, and the instruments which are being used or the machinery which are used are becoming smaller and smaller. So it is becoming like, in certain ways, the what we call it's not exactly nanotechnology as yet, but it is going to that area where it would be very, very small. It can be called as quantum, technology, which is transforming the entire life. I was listening to how it can transform agriculture, what kind of pesticides you can use, what kind of seeds would be required, how the soil can be improved, what kind of irrigation system it would need. All the advice will be given by AI. Similarly, in the industrial sector, how you can improve the product, how the input could be reduced and output could be increased, how you can change the mix of input so that the productivity and effectiveness of the product increases, how you can improve the tools, the machinery of production, how you can change the vehicular traffic and the transport system so that they become less polluting and more effective. So even the environmental issues will also be taken care of. Now the only
Yes, sir.
I would say precaution or challenge is that we have to be careful in its use. A sort of regulatory framework will be required so that it is not misused by the people or by the countries to destroy some of the gains which we will have through this. For example, deep fake is one example
Yes,
where
sir.
we are having problems. So the world community will have to come together and develop a model code of conduct for all the nations so that the misuse could be minimized. Over to you.
All right, sir. Please do stay on with me. With that, I would like to bring in Mr. Rohan Gunaratna, foreign affairs expert, into this conversation. Thank you for being with us on the broadcast, sir. How do you assess, sir, this AI Impact Summit that is taking place in New Delhi? Considering the fact that approximately 20 world leaders have converged in New Delhi, and also some of the world's tech titans are present here as well, talking about how AI is a factor of a force for the good of the world, and how India can be a main pillar when it comes to artificial intelligence.
The greatest benefit from this summit will come to India and to the Indians. India can become a superpower if they harness AI appropriately. And today we have the United States, China, and Russia as the superpowers. But there will be a fourth superpower, which is India, if AI is appropriately harnessed. And of course, Prime Minister Modi gave a very clear vision. I would call it a groundbreaking vision by informing 5 things. One is it should be moral and ethical. Second is there should be accountable governance. And next is there should be national sovereignty, meaning each being the owner of one's data. And next is inclusivity, that is no monopoly, but multiplying knowledge and learning. And finally, it should be valid and legitimate. So I personally believe that this summit is going to benefit India first. And of course, it will benefit the other participants who have come, because Prime Minister Modi has created a vision that is acceptable to the global community. So I think that this summit, the outcome, the impact will create that vision that is vital, not only for India, but for the world. But primarily, its main benefit for India will be the shift from a third world country to a first world country. Thank you.
All right, sir, please do stay on with me. I'm also being joined by Dr. Kunal Behrani, who is the Chairman and Group Director, Neurology at Yatharth Hospitals. Welcome to the broadcast, sir. Thank you so much for being with us all this while. Sir, when we talk about medicine as well as artificial intelligence, in your opinion, what exactly is the future of artificial intelligence, especially when it comes to medicine?
So, good morning. First of all, congratulations to all. To start with, let me start with some facts and figures, which we have led by the World Bank and the World Health Organization in 2025. So, approximately 4.5 to 4.6 billion people worldwide, over half of the global population, they are lacking the essential health services. And the projected global shortage of over 10 to 11 million healthcare workers will be there by 2030, again a global threat. So, with this crisis, global crisis, I would say major sufferer will be the low middle income countries, primarily like India. So, what are the challenges with these challenges? How we can mitigate this by adopting the technology? So, I would say that already the AI is transforming the healthcare in many ways. Being a neurologist, I can see the brain scans which we used to read in few minutes, few hours. Now the AI is able to read that scans in just seconds or minutes. We are able to interpret the bone fractures very precisely, hardly in few minutes. There are AI assisted ambulances nowadays which we are using day to day practices. There was a study in the Yorkshire where the AI assisted ambulance is able to triage the patients perfectly and very precisely, and able to triage those patients who are able to transport to the hospitals. Apart from these, the AI helps the detecting the epilepsy lesions more precisely, and not only the in day-to-day our healthcare practices, but also with the AI assisted tools which we are using day-to-day practices. The technology, for example, the Wish Foundation in India, they leverage the AI powered healthcare services where the doctors used to which able to give the prescriptions to major of the population, somewhere around 37 to 38 million population. So with all these day-to-day practices which we face challenges initially, now the adopting this AI healthcare, with this AI, we are able to solve very precisely. Apart from this, our day-to-day challenges, they are definitely AI is more assisting in the operationals also, because that again is a major challenge in healthcare. There we have to maintain the records, we have to maintain the systems. So with these AI powered tools, we are able to maintain the health records, we are able to maintain the stats. Now there are AI powered tools where able to diagnose diseases very in the early stage, very precisely. You will be surprised to know by just assessing the signatures. Now we can predict the early diagnosis of many diseases like degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, be it tuberculosis. There are AI assisted X-rays where we are able to predict tuberculosis at a very early stage. So I would say with AI in the healthcare nowadays, not only the patient orientation, not only the practices which we are doing day to day, but also in the operations, it's a complete transformation which we are able to see nowadays. Uh, I would say the healthcare is the last sector among all the sectors which usually adopt all these newer technologies. But again, with this transformation, with this AI in the healthcare, I would say it's a boom. And I think with this summit, again, with so much advancements, I'm very, very sure over a time, the healthcare in our country will adopt AI and it very, very, and in a fruitful manner and a very adaptive manner. Thank you.
All right, sir, please do stay on with me. Mr. Swapnil Sorv, sir, if I could bring you back into this conversation. So we're seeing that the spotlight of this summit is also on India's AI startups. Numerous startups have showcased their capabilities at this summit as well for the world to see, sir. In your opinion, what doors and opportunities will this summit, after its conclusion, open for entrepreneurs in the artificial intelligence space, or for people who are vying to actually enter this field?
Yes, yeah, okay. So I think there are a couple of points I want to mention here. First, when we talk about AI, of course, no, we talk about US because most of the companies go there, and if you look at the historically as well, if in India, if you develop a product and you want to go global, you have to go to US to set up your base, right? Most of the companies have gone there, set up a base just because they want to be global. Second thing is, again, you talk about China and kind of innovation that they do here. So we needed a platform as a startups in India, innovators in India. We needed a platform to showcase to the world that we are no less. Okay, in terms of adopting, in terms of creating applications, in terms of developing, new products. So I think the first main thing is it created a platform. Okay, when people from other countries they visit, when they look at it, and as most of the experts have rightly said that this is the biggest AI event on this planet, right? So the platform. Second thing is the capabilities, right? When they go around and interact with individuals, they can see in one place the kind of impact that we have created. So it gives them the window to expand, go beyond the boundaries. Third thing is the reputation itself, right? Now, when you go to the world and say that we have built a product in India, the kind of reception that you might get may not be as comparable to, let's say, if a US or China based company would come. But this has created a bigger image building, if I can say so, right? So it says that, okay, Indians are capable enough. So even though, let's say, if I go out tomorrow and talk about AI, they will look at me with a respect that, okay, no, they are from India, and they are no less than anybody in the world. The kind of population we have, the kind of education setup that we have, we should be leading this. And a couple of days back, French president did say that Indians lead, but then we lead the global brands, not the Indian brands. This will help us to build our Indian brands. So I think lot of opportunities, okay, lot of exposure, platform, reputation. It also shows that government is with you, right? When PM and the ministers they come around, it creates some kind of kind of challenges at the venue, but in a way it shows that the entire machinery, entire government is with you. It gives us the confidence to go beyond the boundaries. I think a lot of good things for Indian brands for sure.
All
Over
right,
to
sir.
you.